Tonight, we're diving into an NBA matchup that is so much more than just a game. We're talking Bucks versus Warriors. This isn't just a game, it's a story. A tale of two recent champions, two absolute titans of the league, and two teams that are frankly at a major crossroads. And that right there, that really gets to the heart of it. See, there are layers here. You've got championship hopes on the line, superstars carrying their teams, and this incredible, fascinating undercurrent of what if that makes this one you just cannot miss. Okay, let's get right into it. Both of these teams, they are absolutely loaded with future Hall of Fame talent, right? But somehow, they find themselves in this weirdly tough spot, just kind of treading water. This game, it's a huge test for where they really are this season. Just look at these records. The Warriors are barely over .500. The Bucks are a bit under. For teams that expect to be competing for a title, this isn't just okay, it's a little alarming. Every single win from here on out just feels massive in such a tight playoff race. A huge piece of the puzzle for Golden State this season really comes down to one guy, Steph Curry. His brilliance is just off the charts, but the team's total reliance on him has become this glaring problem, maybe even an unsustainable one. And let's be clear, Steph is having an unbelievable year. He's dropping nearly 29 a night, and he's in the middle of one of the most efficient offensive seasons of his entire, legendary career. He's still that guy. And, well, this slide right here tells you everything. When Steph Curry is on the court, the Warriors' offense is elite, like one of the best in the whole league. But the second he takes his seat, they don't just get worse. They absolutely fall off a statistical cliff. They become the single worst offense in the entire NBA. That is a staggering difference. Now, what's wild is if you look at the other side of the court, Milwaukee is dealing with an almost identical story. Their entire season, their fate, is completely tied to the health of their superstar, Giannis Antetokounmpo. And just like Steph, Giannis is putting up MVP numbers. Over 29 points a game, he is still one of the most physically dominant, just devastating forces in all of basketball. When he's healthy, he's an absolute problem for every single team. And the impact on winning? It could not be clearer. With their two-time MVP playing, the Bucks are a solid, winning basketball team, 13-9. But without him, yikes, their record plummets to a dismal 3-11. It's not the same team, not even close. Okay, now this is where it gets really crazy. Look at the net rating swing. We're talking about almost a 20-point difference. When Giannis is on the floor, they outscore teams by over 10 points. The second he sits, they get outscored by 9. That perfectly captures how valuable he is on both offense and defense. So, all of this leads us to the big, unspoken story that's kind of hanging over this entire game. The elephant in the room. With both of these powerhouse teams struggling a bit, the whispers around the league, they've started to get a little louder. Yeah, the idea of Giannis joining Steph Curry in Golden State, it's turned from this wild fan fantasy into a legitimate murmur around the league. And it's not just random talk. It's fueled by the Warriors' obvious need for another star. It makes this head-to-head game feel less like a competition and more like a very high-stakes audition. All right, so with all that drama as the backdrop, let's switch gears and look at how the experts are actually sizing this game up. For all of you who follow the betting lines, here's what the numbers are telling us. So, the Warriors are favored by 6.5 points at home, which is a pretty decent number. The money line shows you that too, with the Warriors at -230. That means you'd have to bet $230 just to win 100. The Bucks are the clear underdog here. But, sometimes the best value isn't on the main line, and the source material for this one points to a really interesting prop bet, Bobby Portis and his work on the glass. So on the season, Portis is averaging a really solid 6.5 rebounds a game. He's a reliable guy down there. But the betting line for tonight is set a full rebound lower at just 5.5. And whenever you see a gap like that, well, it definitely makes you raise an eyebrow. And when you dig in, you see why. He has gone over this number, meaning he's grabbed 6 or more rebounds in 23 of his 36 games this season. That is a really strong trend, pointing towards the over. And here's why the analytics love this pick. The Warriors are just not a good rebounding team, period. They rank near the bottom of the league in a bunch of key stats. And you're matching them up against one of the smaller front courts in the NBA, the data really suggests Portis is set up for a big night cleaning the glass. Okay, so we've got the superstar drama, the trade whispers, the deep dive into the numbers. Let's bring it all home. What's the final call? How is this game going to play out against the spread? So here are the key factors driving this pick. The Bucks have actually been pretty good as underdogs on the road. On the flip side, the Warriors have really struggled to cover the spread when they're big favorites at home. Throw in some key injuries for Golden State's defense, plus the fact that the Bucks already beat them once without Giannis, and a pretty clear picture starts to form. The pick is the Milwaukee Bucks to cover that 6.5-point spread. The analysis says they have more than enough firepower, especially with Giannis expected back, to keep this thing a lot closer than Vegas thinks. And that leaves us with the ultimate question as we watch these two titans go at it. Are we just watching a battle between two teams trying to get right? Or could we be getting a sneak peek of a future where these two MVPs aren't opponents, but teammates? Only time will tell.